Hey, you mind if I join?
Yeah,
No,
not at all.
absolutely.
Alright.
I'm just waiting for the chat to acknowledge me, as usual.
I am watching Twitch and seeing nothing.
Whoop! Something happened.
Are we on?
Escapist magazine went live 5 seconds ago. That's funny because I'm watching and it doesn't say
Go.
live.
Are we good?
I see a Yahtzee in a chair.
Bebop Man says we're live, and so does Don.
We are on.
And so does Vaden Kane. Hello, everybody.
Hey, chat.
Welcome
Hey.
once again to the post-EP stream. I'm just fiddling around with my audio levels. I'm here with Ron Whittaker and John Markley, so let me know if the audio is a bit off level.
Yeah, everybody.
I bet you I'm either really loud or really quiet. One of the two.
Yeah, I heard you, Dan.
See?
I turned up my Discord audio before I noticed that the manual audio volume switch on my headphone remote had been nudged down, as it always is.
That keeps happening to me. I've got this new headphones, and I've got this little dial on the cord, and it's constantly getting bumped up and down, and
Yeah.
more trouble.
Anyway, yes. So the game we're playing today... Oh, hang on, I need to tweet this out. Gosh, if it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it?
We're playing a game about a tiny guitar.
Well, don't spoil it.
Ah!
Okay, that's tweeted out. Yes, as Ron was saying, we're playing Yooka-Laylee. Because I got a review copy in a few weeks before the launch yesterday, and have since completed it, and was able to get my review out on time for once. Do you guys know much about this game?
No, I don't. I remember Banjo, but I don't know much about this one.
I know that it's like sort of a retro platformer inspired by the early.
There's really one
By the
question.
early.
There's really one question
By the
about
early-
all this. It's if you ask me if you'd like Yooka-Laylee, the one question is, did you like Banjo-Kazooie? But that's a complicated question because
It is a
if
complicated
you, if
question.
you didn't like Banjo-Kazooie much, then you probably won't like this. But if you liked Banjo-Kazooie a whole bunch to the point that you're offended by any attempt at idolatry, then you probably wouldn't like this either. So basically we're looking for a sort of in-betweeny affair, where you sort of liked the gameplay of Banjo-Kazooie, but not that attached to it. Alright? Are we all with me?
Fair, fair.
Very niche audience, then.
Well, we might as well start anew with this one. So everyone gets the proper context.
Oh, the nice thing about a platformer like that is you don't have to worry about your save game.
Vaden Kane says John's still a bit too loud.
Yeah. You can turn me down individually in Discord.
With Venom points out that this is pure Rare game without it being a Rare game. Because of course Rare made a bunch of games along these lines.
Oh yeah.
There was
They had a pile of
Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Donkey Kong 64, all around the spirit of sort of open hub world platforming, collecting stuff to open more bits of open hub world platforming.
Yeah, there were a whole ton of these games in that era. The
Yes.
Ratchet and Clanks and the...
Matt
Gosh,
Crocs is
Crash.
telling me game's too loud.
Oh, let me flip the sound on there and see.
Just a sec. Oh, happily this is...
Yeah, it is a little loud.
Okay, I'll turn it down a bit more. How's that? What the hell are those speaking sounds, Karanu? This is how speaking works in Banjo-Kazooie style games. They record one sound
better.
and they play it at randomized pitches, and that's dialogue.
God. Okay.
Daz Command says those gremlins look like their faces got torn off. What a prophetic thing to observe, considering I've been playing Persona 5 last week. And there's a bit of face tearing off involved in that game. In fact, I've been playing Persona 5 so much I got the bloody combat music stuck in my head still. I wish turn-based combat RPGs would have more than one bloody combat music.
No, sorry, can't do that. No budget for that, sir.
So you don't have to listen to the first 30 seconds of it 40 times an hour.
Yeah, there's no budget for this extra music you speak of.
Well, of course, this character makes an aggravating noise. This is the bad guy. Bad guys. I guess it's a duck in a water tank, but last I checked, ducks still need to breathe air. They're not entirely aquatic life forms.
I know I'm not in a position to throw stones, really, but these voices are really just horrendous.
Ryuska asks, Yahtzee, are you going to stream Persona 5 or can't you because of Atlus's draconian rules? I was meaning to ask about that. Are those rules still in place after the game's out and presumably any embargoes are over?
They weren't even announced until the day of release after it had been out a few hours.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that
dumb.
was more than anything else was what put a bad taste in my mouth about that whole affair. So I very nearly bought the game specifically for streaming purposes.
I mean, sure, they got leverage over reviewers that they provide copies to, but they can't have leverage over every single streamer in the world, surely.
Yeah, the leverage they're attempting to use is, if you do this, if you don't follow these rules, we'll call YouTube and get your account banned.
Would YouTube actually do that, though?
I don't know.
I don't know. Or like DMCA complaints.
Remember when,
I guess they could throw copyright.
You used to just buy games and then you owned that game and could do what you liked with it?
Those were the good old days, sir.
Those certainly were. Yes,
yeah, that is a serious bat nose.
These are our erstwhile heroes. Yuka is the lizard and Laylee is the bat.
Hey, thanks for the resub.
Beard Kane, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Beard Kane. Subscribed for 2 months in a row.
It says, thanks for every stream so far and for motivating me to start writing again.
Had a pretty shite day, but I'm smiling right now.
Sweet.
So the villains, I guess, are stealing books.
The bastards.
Yes. This is the contrived scenario around which we must find all the collectibles.
The question, Digalomic asks, how did you review this one so fast, Yahtzee? It only came out yesterday.
Well,
Yahtzee's had a copy for, what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, this is the advantage of being a pro reviewer with the contacts. I got onto the test beta like 3 weeks ago. So there. Oh, it's playable already. I hope that cutscene wasn't starting to outstay its welcome. Right now all we can do is double jump pretty much. Oh, we can duck as well. Now, if you're familiar with Banjo-Kazooie, you might remember sometimes the humour in those games could skate a bit close to the edge. Subtly, mind. And this game is trying to continue that tradition a little bit. It took me a while to figure out that this character's name is Trouser, and they're a snake. He's a trouser snake, you see. See, he's a snake in some trousers.
Oh, yes.
Yes, exactly like a dick. He's a dick, Tinsel.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Anytime. Yes, we need to buy our moves from this bloke. Because we didn't know how to spin around until he told us to. Laughing CH points out that the trouser snake has more than one eye, which is the problem there. So what we're picking up here is the secondary collectible thing. There's the major collectible that we use to unlock new levels, and there's the currency sort of collectible thing. Like the coins in Mario, you get 200 in a level and you get one of the big collectibles. As we did in the old 3D platformer days. 3D platformers, a genre kind of died out after a while. 3D mascot platformers, your Crocs and your Spyro the Dragons and your
Crash Bandicoot.
And your Crash Bandicoots, quite.
And the one that I always had a strange amount of fun with for some reason was, it was the one with the gecko in it. It was all
Gex.
the TV shows. Gex, yes.
Gex 3D. Personally, I put down the Death of the Mascot platformer to the greater emphasis on 3D gameplay.
Yeah.
Because platforming really is, to my mind, something that works a lot better in 2D than 3D.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you have suddenly having to figure out exactly where you're landing.
Of course, you remember the whole transition period when we went to the full 3D games and people thought that first-person platforming was where it was at.
Oh,
look,
God.
Look, more jokes for the mums and dads. The sign above this door says "Bat Ship Crazy" because we're on a ship and we're a bat.
With a bat.
Yeah. This butterfly does not want to live and is suggesting we eat them and all their friends.
Wow, this is getting dark.
Can do.
Are butterflies poisonous?
No, not to lizards, I guess.
No, some are, some aren't. It's why some of them have the warning coloration.
I think that's all we need to do right now. Hairless Worgen asks, could one call Uncharted a platformer?
About as much as you could Tomb Raider. Sort of platform elements, maybe?
The thing about Uncharted is that it's not so much platforming as following climbing routes, and sometimes they can be as linear as walking down a corridor. Aim towards next ledge, jump. Aim towards next ledge, jump. It's less about accurate landing, I think, is what separates actual 3D platforming from 3D climbing gameplay. Undead Scurvy points out Uncharted is non-specific action-adventure, like every game in their day.
Teasel makes a good point, too. If Uncharted's a platformer, then so's Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
And Prince of Persia, I'd say, I'd call much more of a platformer than Uncharted.
See, the original Prince of Persia 2D was a specific kind of platformer.
Yeah.
They used to call step platformer. I like to use the term realistic platformer. See also Flashback, Another World. What was that one with the dude with the shotgun? Blackthorn?
Something like that.
That rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Sort of 2D platformer, but with gravity more like the real world.
Yeah, and you could climb.
And you had to climb up stuff a lot. Prince of Persia, of course, famously created by Jordan Mechner, who created the animation of the main character by rotoscoping his little brother in pajamas.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, back in the old heady days of the bedroom programmer. We're just establishing the gameplay mechanics at length here.
Beth kind of sort of asking the important question here. Is there an option to mute the voices?
Well, we could find out. No, I'm afraid it's just music or sound effects.
Oh, God.
So yes.
Damn.
So we could sacrifice all the sound effects if you want.
Yeah, let's get the full. I'd rather get the full experience.
Yes. How else will we know that we have hit the enemies unless we hear a smash sound effect? Yeah, even the menu makes noises. Well, blood is.
Oh, sweet Jesus! I just got to that point in the stream because of the delay. Oh, God.
RVCH says also fuck yeah, Bayonetta on PC.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that happened yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
Seems like we're currently in re-release season.
It was kind of interesting because there was one of the executives from Platinum came out and said, we want to put every one of our games on PC, but the publishers won't let us.
Well, I guess that's they're one of the good guys, Platinum.
I'm happy about the Bayonetta thing also because it means my dream of someday playing Vanquish on PC is slightly less wildly implausible now.
Yeah, I'd replay it if it came out on PC. I might even replay Bayonetta. But this week, there's like a ton of re-releases. Full Throttle Remastered is out on PS4. Parappa the Rapper Remastered was last week, I think. Planescape Torment Remastered is out on Steam. There's Banjo-Kazooie Remastered, which is this.
Laughing CA says, Bayonetta is a game I can show my grandmother to prove that video games are art.
Yeah.
We have very different grandmothers.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure how my grandmother would respond to a woman whose dress is made out of hair and has guns on her high heels.
Not the hair on her head either, because she had a short hairdo in Bayonetta 2.
Yep.
Ronald Dotona says, why have I only just noticed this game's name is a play on Yooka-Laylee?
I don't know, I made that joke like 20 minutes ago.
That's a good question. See, it's a riff on Banjo-Kazooie, because both of those are musical instruments with an E on the end. Ryo Scar asks, does anyone know if you can skip the horrible mini-games in the Full Throttle remake? Yeah, I'd like to know that. Although if you took out the horrible mini-games in Full Throttle, it'll be like even shorter. And it's already like 4 hours long.
How in 20 years did it not occur to me that the kazooie part is also a musical instrument reference?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I mean, not that I've spent a whole lot of those 20 years contemplating Banjo-Kazooie, so I guess...
Yeah, I was gonna say, even in passing, I would have thought, though.
So here we are going up to collect our very first Jiggy, or rather, KG. This is still tutorial mode. Oh, can't go up there yet. So I've got a question that's kind of been nagging at me.
Alright.
You know, Back to the Future 2,
Yes.
you know how old Biff steals the sports almanac from the future and gives it back to his younger self in 1955?
Yes.
He can then bet on sporting events and get a whole bunch of money to found an empire that basically corrupts the entirety of American society by 1985.
Right.
Well, surely elementary chaos theory states that those sporting statistics would have gotten inaccurate after a while.
Yes.
I mean, possibly even after his first couple of wins, enough would have changed that at least one of the many millions of factors that could affect a sports event would change, and therefore the statistic would change.
Right.
You've identified the one flaw in the otherwise rigorously hard science fiction saga that is Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But I thought about that, and then I thought, wait a second, photographs and stuff change if the past changes, so maybe the statistics would just change inside the almanac to reflect the actual present. But then I realised that there was such a dramatic conflux of events required for there to be a statistics book in that antique shop that Marty McFly would buy in 2015. Surely only one of those events has to not happen for that almanac book to not be bought.
And never end up in
maybe the
publisher in the first place.
Maybe the publisher would never exist. Maybe the antique shop would never exist. Maybe it would, but they didn't opt to put the almanac book in the shop window on the day Marty McFly happened to be walking past. Basically what I'm saying is that was total bullshit.
Yeah,
I have never seen any of the Back to the Future movies in their entirety.
Really?
I feel like that the study of time travel and all of the attendant effects thereon is not something that they went rigorously into. You know, considering the time they spent on script writing and casting, they obviously, you know.
Did you know that Eric Stoltz was originally going to play Marty McFly, and they had most of the film done?
Yes,
And you
I
can
did
find
know that.
stills from Back to the Future of Eric Stoltz being there instead of Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
It's a little bit surreal. It's like that bit in Last Action Hero where they go into a video store and see Sylvester Stallone on a Terminator poster.
I always think that the best summation of how screwed up time travel is the whole bit on how you conjugate verbs in time travel in Hitchhiker's Guide. There was a whole section in Hitchhiker's Guide about conjugating verbs in time travel, and it was ridiculous. So, but it's because, of course, it was Hitchhiker's Guide. But anyway,
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, something is like if an event is past relative to one part of the conversation, but not to for another part of the person in the conversation and stuff like that.
it's
Or or just I did something in the future 2 days ago for me, and it's that would be difficult.
Alright, we're on our way to our first hub world thingy.
oh boy.
So, I forget who said it, but someone earlier brought up the JonTron thing.
Yeah.
If only we had his monosyllabic grunts in this game, it might have
Yeah.
salvaged a lot of the audio.
I heard there was a bit of drama surrounding JonTron. Apparently he did a voice in this game, and then he said something a bit racist, and the developers removed his contribution.
He was apparently the voice of some minor NPC. I don't know which one, but he said something that the developers didn't take kindly to, and so they took it out, and there was an uproar.
Oh my god. Imagine how much work it would have been done to replace all his work. They had to go to a microphone and make one noise.
I think they had Pepper do it.
Pepper's asleep at the moment. Tate1998 asks, what the fuck is this, Yahtzee? It's Yooka-Laylee, you swine. It's a lovely mascot cartoon adventure, wholesome for kids. Or something.
What is this
Kids
Banjo-Kazooie type shit?
Kids and 35-year-old men who remember Banjo-Kazooie. With Venom points out that even the personalities of Yooka and Laylee are the same as Banjo and Kazooie. Well, I guess that's the point. It's like the Mighty Number 9 thing. They're not actually trying to create something different. I mean, those Kickstarter backers didn't hand over their cash to play something different to the thing from their past that they like.
Yeah.
No, Hairless Morgan. The Liz Finnegan Darkest Dungeon stream has not happened yet. You haven't
But
missed
it
that.
will.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be there when it happens.
Alright, it's a jungle.
Yes, you are playing this on PC, aren't you?
Certainly am.
Thought so.
Master race, bitch.
Got to get that full 60 FPS Yooka-Laylee enthusiast experience.
Full 4K. Ukulele in 4K.
Well, I say that, I'm running it in a 720p window.
Shh.
Oh,
You found a Ghost Rider.
yeah, that's one of another set of collectibles. It's collectibles all the way, really.
Oh, by the way, folks, we are now putting up these. I've been putting up the archived versions of Yahtzee streams up on YouTube. I'll get a link to that.
Oh yes, how many of those are up now?
Half a dozen or so.
Not quite that many yet, but like 4 or 5, I think.
I was just remembering today that I thought the Hitman stream was quite fun.
We do have the Yakuza stream is up.
There are 6.
That was one of the first ones you put up.
Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, Andromeda, the Switch stream, Yakuza 0, and Neo.
Alright. Quite a backlog still to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing these since last year.
For a while.
October, I think?
I think the first one I did was for the Curious Expedition and Mother Russia Bleeds, if memory serves.
I think that's right. Yeah. We're also putting up the Escapist Live podcast every week now.
That's on the Escapist Plays YouTube channel, isn't it?
Yep.
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 There's a question you don't see every day in your Twitch stream. CK Ratazan says, "Hey guys, I've started to live on my own, and I'm wondering if you guys have any interesting cooking recipes I could use."
Just grab a jar of curry sauce at the supermarket and fry up some chicken. That's my usual fallback. Or eat beans on toast.
I can tell you about how to operate a toaster. That's about as far as my skills go.
Oh, John, that's not fair. You can probably mostly use a microwave.
Microwave is pushing a little too close to the limit.
What about
Flying too close to the sun.
what about ramen noodles? Do you have a kettle? I enjoy the fact that I can kill these enemies with one of my spin attacks, because they seem to be the only kinds of enemies that my spin attack works on.
Ask My Butt is asking, I am liking your new book, Yahtzee. And I'm just wondering, have you found bread that wasn't packaged twice in America? I'm not sure what that question's about, but okay.
Well, I did a guest spot on Total Biscuits podcast, and I asked him if it was normal.
Yes.
I asked him if it was normal for bread to be packaged twice in America. Happily, yes, I do now. You regularly buy a brand of sliced bread that isn't packaged twice, just the once.
Have you been able to find some that isn't like horribly oversweetened?
Yeah, sort of. Not that I can notice anyway.
I recall that being a sticking point as well.
I prefer multigrain for the record.
He's becoming acclimatized to our evil ways.
Feel like I've got a sore throat starting up. That would be inconvenient. Always around the change of seasons for me. And I'm learning to drive.
Oh, how's that going?
It's pretty nerve-wracking, actually. Every time there's someone in a car behind me, I just get into a huge flap. I said, oh god, don't hate me, experienced motorist. I will be out of your way and committing seppuku on the side of the road as soon as I can.
I haven't I haven't driven since since high school driver's ed, actually.
Well, I live in California. I guess driving is important.
So they say.
Alright. We're going to race against this cloud.
Seems like a poor proposition.
Because the core gameplay of this game, I guess, is going around these little open worldy map things and finding brief gameplay challenges with interesting characters. bollocks. I ran out of power for my rolly thing. You need to collect butterflies to get your power back up. And, even though I went straight past a butterfly or two, that was not sufficient.
Alright, let's give this a test fire here.
Come back here, you fluffy bastard. And I ran out of power again. So what this mini-game is telling us is that it's impossible to win sporting events unless you have some kind of artificial aid.
I was gonna
So
say
it's like a pro steroid PSA, essentially.
Yeah, they don't have testing in this world.
Take all the steroids you want. Yes, can we stop banging the holy shit this game sounds are annoying drum? That's the only drum we're going to be hearing today.
It's still better than the voices. Yahtzee, did you have a favorite mascot platformer? Asked Bo Bulo. Nice.
Does Fantasy World Dizzy count? On the Commodore 64?
That's a little. That's going back a few years, but we'll accept it.
Well, I am an old, middle-aged bastard. I'm 34 this year. I'm pissed.
I think it still sounded too loud. I turned my mic down.
Ill Panic, yes, Yuka is a dude, but Laylee the bat is a lady bat. Just to clarify. So you can get your fan fiction straight. Alright, one more time. I gotta wipe the smile off this cloud.
Smug bastard's been lording it over you for too long.
Yes, exactly. Thinking they're
Ronald
so
Latona says, Yahtzee, did you ever play Age of Mythology?
No.
I did.
Is
It's
it good?
interesting. It was an Ensemble Studios RTS, kind of like Age of Empires, except it used when you played as one of the factions, you would be the Greeks or the Romans, and you would have the Greek gods would be aiding you. Call down, Zeus's lightning.
Well, the Greek and the Roman gods were the same, weren't they? Because the Romans nicked
Yeah.
the Greek gods.
Yeah.
Which to me was the signal that the Romans didn't actually believe in the gods. Because if you do actually believe these all-powerful beings genuinely exist, it seems like a good way to ruin your relationship with them. To kill all their followers and tell them they're going to have to get different names.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the way the Roman Empire worked is they, whenever they took over a new area, they would basically come up with, they would reinterpret all the local deities as versions of their own gods.
Oh, I see.
So they take, you take over Greeks and you tell the Greeks, okay, you guys worship Zeus and Hera. Well, they're basically just, Jupiter and Juno. So, they're more or less the same gods, so we can get along. And it wasn't exactly that they stole the Greek gods so much as they sort of politely pretended that they were worshiping the same deities so that they could get along with their subjects better.
I guess the same thing happened with the conversion of the Roman Empire to Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
When they said the dates of the pagan winter solstice and of the
Sol Invictus.
pagan spring festival were actually the dates of the birth and the death of Jesus, respectively. And therefore we can continue worshipping on that day. Continue having your fun festivals on that day.
MC11 says, let's have some love for the Kansas City Dullards.
Aha, a reference to today's video.
Indeed. I feel like it's probably worth, I wonder I wonder if we could sell Kansas City Dullards hats.
Well, it's not exactly PC Master Race material, is it?
No.
I'm very bad at predicting which bits of my work will be the standout popularity things. I just threw that PC Master Race thing out there.
Yeah, and look
Wasn't
what
even
happened
that
with that.
funny a joke, I didn't think.
For those of you that haven't seen today's Zero Punctuation, there's a link for you.
Yes. We were talking about mascots at one point. I mentioned that most video game characters these days are generic man, which would only be a mascot for the Kansas City Dullards.
Yes. MC11 says, I live in Kansas City, and I would support a Kansas City Dullards hat.
Well, that's pretty niche so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's an army of one.
Well, if he buys 30,000 hats, maybe he's onto something.
Well, it could be. They'll buy them from us and then turn around and resell them at a 20% markup on the street in Kansas City.
Hairless Worgen, at least wait until the end of this stream before you start asking what John's going to be streaming after it. So in addition to the special move we get when we unlock each world, we also have to buy extra gameplay moves to unlock new sorts of puzzles and things.
Oh god, you're purchasing... So you can purchase Slurp Shot from the Trouser Snake.
Yes, we're going to purchase Slurp Shot from the Trouser Snake, and then get involved in a bit of a buddy slam. Foreplay is important.
These are the adult jokes. That's all you get.
Yeah, it's about it. I think there's a statue that looks like it's pissing later in the game. So this is what the echo shot thing does. You can wake stuff up with it. Or rather, you can wake up one specific thing with it. Alright, now it's a platformer, because there are platforms.
And you must jump on them. Oh, and they're moving. Yes,
Yes.
that's moving. Just exactly what we're all wanting.
Alright, I guess there is fall damage in this game. So, here's a curious thing. In this game, you start off with a world, and then once you collect a certain number of pages, you can go to another world, or you can spend more pages on this world to make the world more expanded and have more things to do in it. Except the more things you can do usually require powers you get later in the game, so I wonder why they didn't just unlock the big world right from the start. That's just me. Because you're going to have to come back anyway.
Content gating is what everybody's after. It's the new thing.
I guess. I mean, it's in the spirit of all, like, DLC and shit, I suppose. Damn it, I missed a feather thing. What a day.
Beard and Kane said something about accessing a double slurp shot jump spin attack early, but it looked really confusing and I didn't want to read it all.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of opportunity for sequence breaking in this game, because this game doesn't believe in invisible walls. Which is one thing I sort of like about it. Because you're only supposed to, like, get on top of the temple in the middle of this map once you got, like, some kind of super jump or flying ability. We can actually, I found I could actually get on top of there by doing some pretty arcane double jumping off the brickwork.
I feel like that's kind of what happens in all of these old platformers, is you end up finding a way to jump to a place that you aren't supposed to jump to, and then everything gets broken from there.
Well, it's fun to do that.
Well, of course
Like-
it is.
It's like playing Super Metroid and never getting the space boots, so you just have to morph ball bomb your way up every single thing you need to ascend. And it's unimaginably tedious and frustrating, but hey, you got one over the developer. Go you, Mr. Skill Run Man. Of course, you still got your money, but who cares?
What does that prove? Nothing.
I do find it easy to get lost in these maps. Even more so than in a Mass Effect hub world. Flotran says, I figured this game would work well for speedrunning. Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm sure
I mean,
that there
that's-
will be speedruns.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that's the spirit of the retro times, isn't it? Which I guess is sort of the flavour of the month with Breath of the Wild. Being very
Yeah.
speedrun friendly. Yes, Pepper is being a good boy so far, everyone. Although he's being taken out for his walk now, so stand by for further reports. He was very bad at the weekend. Oh, what a bad boy he was. We have a problem with him barking at other dogs when we're out on our walk, you see. And on this occasion, he was able to wriggle out of his harness and go after the dog he was barking at. I didn't know where to look, it was so embarrassing. So speaking of fanfiction, here's an Octopus Lady.
With tentacles on her chin.
They have seemed to have really gone out of their way to contrive a manner in which an octopus can also have human characteristics. And the end result is something quite horrific.
But quite popular in Japan for some reason.
This is like something you'd fight in the Cove in Darkest Dungeon.
This is like something from The Fly.
Yeah,
Someone went through the
that's...
teleporter with an octopus. Or maybe they just had octopus for lunch.
There's laughing CH asking the important questions. How is her helmet watertight with that octo beard?
I guess it was made bespoke.
I just want the science to work.
Well, if you're looking for hard science in your mascot platformer, then I got bad news for you. Not sure if we'll see it on this stream, but one sort of slightly subversive joke that I sort of appreciate in this game is that one of the enemies is just a pair of eyes that bounces around. And if they attach to, like, a piece of scenery or physics object, then that temporarily becomes an enemy. Because, oh, that was a reference to how pretty much every character in games like this is just like an inanimate object with eyes attached.
That is me.
See, they're just letting me jump right on the side of the level there. They don't care. I could fall off if I want. I don't think you want to throw stones about someone being in an old-fashioned game, Yooka-Laylee.
This is such a weird question. I have to bring it to your attention. Have you ever played Blinks the Time Sweeper?
No, I know of it though. It was a PS2 mascot platformer game. Towards the tail end of the mascot platformer heyday. If memory serves. I seem to remember the main character was a cat.
There's a mascot platformer with a cat as the mascot, and Reddit hasn't found it yet.
Well, there were quite a few cat mascots. Bubsy springs to mind.
True.
And that went down an unfortunate path. Damn it, I need one more feathery thing to unlock a new power. Ooh, there's some. With Venom says, Blinks is now in public domain, as Xbox never renewed the license. So all you people chomping at the bit to make Blinks the Time Sweeper spin-offs, now's your chance. I guess we'll get the Buddy Slam. Yes, let's all reminisce about mascot platformers, chat. Sly Cooper, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Voodoo Vince. Who remembers Medieval?
Ooh, I do. I just played that one not that long ago.
Memorinolo says, Yahtzee, have you played Dark Souls yet? Once or twice, yeah, Memorinolo. Obviously, I'm not committed as some people. I've only got like 500 hours between all the games.
What are you, a quitter?
Does Kirby count as a platformer if you can fly?
That's a good question. I mean, I've played quite a few 2D, usually Metroidvania-inspired games where you're not platforming at all. You're just free flying around. Games like Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet or Child of Light once you get the flight upgrade really early in the game. But they're still sold as platformers.
Yeah. I remember I actually got to...
Oh god, Jombly Wobbly. I think you're thinking of Cool Spot.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. The game...
The 7-Up ad.
Yeah.
Game.
A game
7-Up's answer to...
Game based
7-Up's
on
answer
7-Up.
to Mick Kids.
A game based on 7-Up that they wanted to base around the mascot for 7-Up before they realised that 7-Up doesn't have a mascot, so they just used the dot in the 7-Up logo and gave it legs and arms and sunglasses. And they called it Cool Spot. You know,
And then there was...
it wasn't actually that bad a game, Cool Spot.
There was a whole wave of
If memory
mascot
serves.
platformers that were like literal mascots of like other products.
Yeah, there was a time when there was a lot of usually stuff like snack foods and things sponsoring.
Yeah, there's the Chester Cheetah game.
Ah, yes. The Chester
Don't forget
Cheetah game.
the Burger King game.
Oh, and McDonald's had a few. MC Kids.
MC,
Yeah.
yeah. There was Yo Noid, which was
Oh yeah, the Domino's
better
Pizza
than it
noise.
should have been, frankly.
Alright, well, let's see if we can figure out this mind bender. Bunch of tiles on the floor, a sequence of tiles above, and I've got a floor smash ability. Ow.
And yeah, actually, as Mr. Hart points out, the Noid advertising campaign was retired because a man suffering from schizophrenia, whose last name actually was Noid, held a Domino's pizza at gunpoint because he thought that the ads were targeting him.
Fun. No, not fun. Tragic, horrible. Horrible. Very, very terrible treatment of the mentally ill in this country. Don't mind me, just getting some health back because I fucked that up. Domino's
I
had
like
a
more
mascot, Uber Super Sloth, probably before your time.
Yeah. There's an annoying little guy in a red suit that was, animated. Called the
I like more than
Noid.
25 characters proposal for game. Ronald McDonald and the staff of childhood obesity.
I seem to remember there was a racing game based on Biker Mice from Mars, the cartoon series. But they also got sponsorship from Snickers, and the game just brings up Snickers with virtually every line of dialogue. And it's really rather off-putting.
That was that era where everyone was trying to make their Ninja Turtles knockoff.
Nightmare 4 LOL says, wasn't Noid Pizza Hut? Oh, you might be right there, actually.
No, it wasn't.
It was Domino's? Are you sure?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Avoid the Noid. God, I remember those ads.
Easter egg. And weird shape thing. Where's that? Down here. Guy with weird haircut. Max73474 says all these mascot games were from PS1 era. No, Avoid the Noid was an NES game.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, some of them were PS1, some of them were PS2.
Oh,
some of them were 16-bit.
There was a big...
The big
wave,
McDonald's game was 16-bit.
Oh, well, yeah. The 8 and 16-bit era was sort of the glory days of the mascot of completely unrelated product being a video game hero. Like, Cool Spot.
It was only the PS1 that brought us the 3D mascot platformer. Mascot platformers were a thing since the beginning of gaming, actually. I remember the Kool-Aid Man game on the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
But,
that's true.
Yes, but in the early days of 3D gaming, the 3D mascot platformer was abound. And that's where we learned 3D gaming and platforming don't work terribly well together.
Yeah, Miss Tart 101 has the truth of it there. That was the whole thing with the Noid was Domino's used to have the guarantee. We'll get a pizza to your house in 30 minutes or less or it's free. And the Noid would go around the commercials trying to sabotage the Domino's pizza delivery guy. So he was really the villain, but he got his own game anyway, because fuck it. If I remember right, I think I saw something the other day that, like, GameStop to this day, it still costs like $5 to buy that shitty Burger King game on 360.
Surprised they still sell it. I remember that Burger King game. You played as the Burger King, and you had to sneak up on people, as I recall.
Yep.
Oh god, the Burger King was creepy as hell. Those commercials.
Yeah, according to what I just looked up, Sneak King is a $4.99 game pre-owned at GameStop for Xbox 360. There are a lot of games you can buy for $5.
So that ghosty thing I just collected was one of the ghost writers. You have to use the echo shot thing to make them come into existence. It took me fucking ages to figure that out. See, this game gives you like a suite of abilities and a whole bunch of things that are supposed to react to those abilities. They don't tell you which ones react to what. So it comes down to just trial and error, really. And then they change the rules, it's inconsistent. Like, some places you can use like a sonar blast to break ice blocks, some places you can't. And that's what I didn't like.
Lothian says, "Didn't Domino's 30-minute delivery kill employees in traffic?" I don't think anybody died, but I do think that the reason they stopped doing it was because one of the employees got into an accident.
Yeah.
Trying to get a pizza there in 30 minutes because their manager was like, if you don't get that there in 30 minutes, it's coming out of your check.
That seems an obvious way to avoid that problem. You just don't take it out of the employees' checks. But then I guess they don't really have motivation to get it there within half an hour. Alright, maybe it's not a good idea.
Escapee1 says we need a Crystal Pepsi game.
They're
They're selling that again.
Some sort of Final Fantasy tie-in, perhaps.
They're selling that again, right? It's in stores. Crystal.
Oh, I need to check this out. I liked Crystal Pepsi.
Oh, God. Like, there are things that need to be returned to stores, and there are things that do not, and Crystal Pepsi is the latter.
Is that like Tab Clear?
Yeah, kinda.
I remember that. I don't think Crystal Pepsi made it to the UK. We had Tab Clear for a while.
Don't feel bad. It didn't make it in most other places either.
Well, I prefer Coke to Pepsi anyway. Pepsi always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Aftertaste.
Yeah, I remember when Crystal Pepsi first came out. I was in high school, and everybody was like, "Crystal Pepsi," and we're like, "Why?"
So you can drink it and pretend it's soda water.
It's water. Yeah, it's caffeine free too. So I mean, caffeine free Pepsi with a clear Pepsi with no caffeine. What's the point?
Well, I guess my point is that these, like Pepsi and Cola, spent years trying to create their brand as a sort of status symbol, where drinking Coke makes you look cool, and then they give you a product where, so you can drink it and nobody knows you're drinking Coke. A sort of more novelty than actual innovation, I suppose. Right, what are we doing next? How many pages have I got? I got 2 whole pages, and I think I need 3 to unlock another world. So I guess we'll continue exploring the jungle world. And then we'll go on to the ice world, fire world, ocean world, candy world.
Miranolo says he wants a crystal meth
stuff.
game instead of a crystal Pepsi game.
Ha ha ha, that is sort of a joke, except not.
I don't know. I feel like there's probably going to be at some point somebody's going to make a game where you like run a drug empire. And
Targus Meropia asks, did I beat this game? Yes, I did, actually. But I thought I'd better play from the start to give you the proper context, because if I went back to my, like, game-beaten save, we'd have the flying ability straight away, and there would be no challenge to anything whatsoever. And I'd also found pretty much all the really obvious things, and all that would be left would be to blindly hunt around for the less obvious ones, which didn't sound like fun. CTSS1230 said you didn't free the lady from that pot for a pagey. Oh, I thought I should have had more pages. Guess we'll check up on that.
she'll probably be glad about that.
Here's a plant that follows the "it has eyes, therefore it's sentient" rule. It has nothing to say to us.
This has eyes. Doesn't have a mouth.
Targus Meropia says this game looks really fun. Well, if you've played any game by Rare in the past, then maybe you'd like this. I think we went over that at the start. Oh, yeah, I guess we just needed to talk to the skeleton lady. Uber Super Sloth points out it's Grasslands, Desert, Jungle, Iceworld, Fireworld, Boss. Actually, you're wrong, Uber Super Sloth. It's Grasslands, Desert, Ocean, Jungle, Iceworld, Fireworld, Boss. That's the Mario formula, which many other cartoon platformers follow. There are some variants. Sometimes they stick a Candy World in there just to throw me off. So, anyone fly United lately? Let's keep it topical.
It has been a interesting week in the world of public relations.
Well, yeah. Well, it's always interesting. It's always been interesting in the world of public relations since Trump got in. Someone puts their foot in it every week in that administration.
That's still my favorite tweet from the entire situation so far is, Pepsi said, "Wow, that was probably the worst PR move of the year," and then United said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
And then Sean Spicer just screamed Leroy Jenkins and ran into the press room.
I know the United story, I know the Sean Spicer Hitler story. I'm not entirely clear on what the Pepsi story is.
It was the Pepsi commercial they did with Kendall Jenner taking Pepsi to a bunch of police officers or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't follow it real closely either, to be honest. I just know that it caused a big uproar for some reason.
Why? Is it because everyone hates the cops now?
Pretty much.
Well, fair enough.
I still think that
Did you see that? I don't think that was supposed to be a platform, but I managed to get up by standing on the little, tiny little thing poking out. I'll wait till you guys see it. It'll give you a while.
No, the little piece of whatever you're standing on there, yeah. The little edge of that thing.
Okay, I need a higher jump to get up there.
Beard and Kane says Yahtzee, the Pepsi advertisement was basically about a big protest that somebody solved by giving a Pepsi to a police officer, and that made everybody get together again.
I guess it's a sort of insensitive oversimplification of a situation, of a very real situation that affects real people every day. But, you know, I don't have much truck in people being offended by things. Just like if one thing's acceptable, everything else should be.
I'm offended by that.
Okay, we're playing a mini-game.
Oh boy.
The mini-game is we have 5 minutes to do 5 laps. It is as easy as it sounds.
Targus Meropius says, sorry to re-ask, but do we know what parts of this game JonTron was stricken from? No.
No, we were talking about that earlier.
We don't know what it was.
We think apparently he was a voice, but the voices in this game are basically just noises.
Yeah.
It's not even noises. It's like each character has one noise that just repeats over and over and over.
It's like an entire game staffed by the teaching staff of Charlie Brown. And nobody gets that joke because I'm old.
I think Pepper's in the doghouse again.
Damn it, Pepper.
What did he do this time? I'm getting a roll of eyes and shaking head.
That's not a good sign, Pepper.
Are you riveted yet, by the way? By this riveting minigame?
The suspense of whether or not you will make it is literally killing me.
There's shortcuts you can take, but why would
I saw
you,
that.
Honestly.
I saw that, but I mean, you've got 3.5 minutes to finish, what, a lap?
2 laps, I think.
No, yeah, this is 4 out of 5.
Ow. Though we don't have a health bar at this point, so getting hit just stops us for a bit.
Alchemy Dragon 2000 points out that you're learning to drive, but it doesn't look like you're doing so good right now, are you?
Well, this isn't much like real-life driving, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot more fire in California
I picked
traffic.
up the reverse controls thing. That's cruel. Although it deactivates the moment you fall into water. Hey look, I'm first of 1.
Aren't you the only one in the race?
Yes, I think you can play this minigame multiplayer somewhere, but we don't have any local multiplayers around, or second controllers.
Wow, you made it, and only half your time to spare.
Yeah, we get a pagey from just beating it, we get another pagey for beating the high score. So that's where it starts to get slightly hard. So yes. There's a thing you're supposed to collect to give to the Octopus Lady, and then the Octopus Lady will do an experiment on you.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's...
Well, Well, anything
The
Octopus
Octopus
Lady's
Lady
here.
is going to do experiments on me.
Well, let's hope we're an adventurous lizard. That's the thing we need, the thing on that tower over there.
Or at least a tolerant lizard.
Here's a good question. Yahtzee, were you a big fan of the original Rare games and such?
No, I wasn't really an N64 boy. Which was
the
their
worst
whole stomping
controller.
ground. I had a PS1 in that era.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, that controller
Likewise.
was weird.
I think that was really one of the truly, like, love it or hate it things in the Nintendo 64 controller. I've never met anybody that said, yeah, it was okay. Everybody either says, oh, I love that controller, or it's absolute shit.
No one ever says it was purely fun.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's interact with the Octopus Lady.
Interact with the octopus. That sound. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a euphemism.
Welcome
for
to Japan.
Yeah. Yes, I had a PS1. Dual analog sticks, double shoulder buttons all the way. Member Anilo asks, when is the Dark Souls release on 3DS?
What?
I think he might have been kidding.
Jombly Wobbly apparently was the person that said the N64 controller was okay.
Always wanting to get attention with his edgy opinions, that Jumbly.
There's always one in every crowd.
Alright, we are a plant.
Great. That sounds like it's working great.
Notice the lizard part of us was the mage body of the plant, but the bat part of us is the stem and the stamen. We are some twisted Junji Ito style monstrosity.
Sorry.
So this is the only real purpose turning into a plant has. You can talk to other plants.
So, in this one, you're actually telling me that the plants won't talk to you unless you're another plant. That's actually a step in the right direction, maybe?
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, did it ever seem weird to you that the plants were talking to the people? I don't know, maybe just me.
Well, the bloody pages from a book were talking to me earlier.
Well, true.
We are through the looking glass here.
That's a fair point. Did you just spit on that plant? I think you spit on that.
Don't mind me. I think I want to push these boxes out of the way by hurling my body at them. That's not working out though. I think it's nearly out. There we go. Physics.
Eerily reminiscent of the early we have physics and we have to use them games. Like Half-Life.
Yeah.
Pick up that can.
Half-Life 2 rings to mind.
Yeah.
Why climb up a ledge when you can build a seesaw? So I guess we're married to a flower now. I don't think this plant guy understands courtship. He was like, I find you very attractive. Do the small job for me and I will give you a present. I mean, just because you're trying to woo someone doesn't mean you can't get your errands sorted out. I guess I'll see if I can find 4 more of these quill things to buy the last power. Yeah, Zigzafodge5 points out, the romantic gift is a piece of paper presumably made from the corpse of another plant.
Oh, I
That's
hadn't even thought of that.
that took a dark turn pretty quickly. Mostly accurate though.
So basically, this plant you're romancing, it's like the Ed Gein of the plant world.
Well, the Pagey was still alive, it had eyes. And some kind of independent sentience. I can't even begin to get my head around the biology of this world.
Iranizer wants to know if we have any book recommendations. I know one.
Yes! Why not read We'll Save the Galaxy for Food by Yahtzee Croshaw. I've heard he's a very gifted author. And then why not read his other books, Mogworld and Jam, available from all good retailers. And some dodgy ones. Don't know what I'm doing up here. I guess nothing.
Sounds like Pepper's being the bad dog.
He's been a bad boy. Pope Gregory IX just showed me a little scratch that Pepper gave him. Or not a little
Yes, let
scratch.
me just for the sake of full transparency, let's have the disclosure. Yahtzee wrote all those books and made some video games. There are a few things he could be less objective about.
I suppose. Wouldn't want to be accused of being unethical games journalists, would we?
Indeed. I've heard things about that, and I hear it's bad.
Excuse me a minute. I'll be back a little bit.
Pepper's giving me the innocent look.
And you know it's all a setup.
Yes.
Let's see. Targus Meropia says, "Who is Pope Gregory IX?"
Oh, he was the Pope that came between Gregory VIII and Gregory X.
Indeed. You guys didn't know you'd also get history in this stream.
Well,
But there it is.
it's more mathematics than history, really.
Shh.
Oh, hang on.
What kind of dog is the dog? Pepper is a Papillon mix, I believe.
Yes. Mixed with what? We're not sure.
Things and stuff.
Yeah. Some, like, you know, bits and bobs of dog DNA.
Lothian says, "Are all popes named Gregory?" I think there was one named Steve once.
Yeah, I think there was a Pope Stephen. Probably. There's been Pope Piuses, and Pope Johns, and Pope John Pauls, and Pope John Paul Georges, and Pope John Paul George Ringos.
Or just one of those.
Ow. Well, here's one of the Ghost Riders we can collect, but he won't consent to be picked up. He just burps in our face and points in his mouth. It is up to us to determine what he wants from us. AK Mine says, check Yahtzee stealing an Eddie Izzard joke. Yeah, I was wondering if anyone would notice. The Pope Jean-Paul George thing. Oh yeah, and here's the fridge. Here's a huge, monstrous, talking fridge. Okay, Samurai 1 says, didn't the female Pope get stoned to death? Oops, someone's played Persona 5. Hey, we're almost up to 1,000 viewers. This game's more popular than I thought.
Well then, welcome in, new people. Thanks for coming and watching Yahtzee play Yooka-Laylee.
Oh hey, all the ones I unlocked in my last save are still unlocked. Ooh, this is the one I found most useful. No damage falling from great heights.
Oh god, yes.
I mean, come on, it's a mascot platformer. I ain't used to having to live with the consequences of my actions.
Well, nothing says great idea for a mascot platformer like fall damage.
Yeah, there's a dude inside the temple. Planning to buy the last of Trouser Snake's upgrades.
Onisora says that fridge looks like the love child of SpongeBob and the cover art Miss Pac-Man.
Nice. Alright, we'll get the slurp shot. Since
That's a
everyone likes it
strangely
so much.
believable, like...
Mist Heart 101 says, didn't the 2D Bubsy games have full damage? I think they did. If there's any game that shouldn't have full damage, it's a 2D platformer. Unless it's a step platformer. Everyone really latches onto the near sound effect. Who is this? Skeletor? Oh, we didn't mention that Trousers Company is called Trousers Worldwide Incredible Traders, which they've none too subtly indicated forms an acronym.
Twit.
I wonder if that's
Yes.
an Only Fools and Horses reference.
It seems like it's possible.
That was a sitcom about petty criminals who had an organisation called Trotter Independent Traders, which stands for TIT. Pepper, settle down.
Yes, Pepper, haven't you gotten into enough trouble today?
I guess not. Because he's abusing himself by trying to chew his own legs off again.
Well, you know, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
So whenever he gets in trouble, he says it is his back leg's fault, and he valiantly offers to punish it for us.
Meme Renolo says, can you let Pepper play for a bit? Pepper's actually been playing for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, you couldn't tell? Right.
Yahtzee, did you see that next week they're putting out a big expansion for Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Oh, really? Are they putting a good game in it?
From what I've seen, no.
Oh, well, never mind then.
They are adding a bunch of stuff that is exactly the same stuff that we did it before.
Oh, well. Another checklist to fill out. Say no more.
No, they added a bunch of gangs that you have to infiltrate, but you can't get to the boss until you gain the trust of his underbosses.
So that was what we needed to do to get that ghost right, huh? We had to spit some kind of projectile into his mouth. Literally any projectile. Yeah, you show that leg who's boss, Pepper.
Although they will be adding monster trucks with miniguns in the back of the expansion.
Oh well, hold me back.
I don't know.
That changes everything, I'm sure.
I kind of liked the guns, the trucks with the miniguns in the back of them.
Alright, numpties. Go into this door. Did we make it clear enough for you? Zainti Santalos asks Yahtzee, what's your favourite 3D platformer and is it Psychonauts? I guess. By the traditional definition of 3D platformer. If we can include the Uncharted style definition, then probably Prince of Persia Sands of Time.
That was a great game.
It really was.
Max734 asked if I was the same editor that brought ZP onto the Escapist a decade ago. No.
No, that's a few editors ago.
Yeah. That was a while back. Around that time when Yahtzee was coming to the Escapist, I was somewhere over in... I wasn't even working here then.
Where were you then?
I was over running, all you modders will remember, filefront.com.
Filefront?
Yes.
I vaguely remember that, yeah. I downloaded a mod or two from Filefront back in the day.
Yeah, I was there from about 2004 up until a couple years ago when they finally sold it off and closed it down. And I moved over here to the Escapist.
Oh.
But it's out there and it's back. The guys that own ModDB bought it up and they're running it as a mod download site again. So,
huh, I guess you would.
no, FileFront was not a torrent site. It was a hosting site. We provided hosting for modders and, you know, for a long time. Before the advent of things like auto patching,
stuff
we
like
provided...
File Planet was a big one back in the day.
Yeah. File Planet was probably one of our biggest competitors. We had, but like, let's say that World of Warcraft put out a new patch, Blizzard would send us the patch and we would host it, and they would post the link on their site to us, and then they'd say, "Go get your patch over here."
It's not instead of just be a middleman.
Instead of just straight downloading it. So, but then we had free file hosting for modders and stuff, so that was good.
So I guess it's good to cut out middlemen. I guess.
You know.
I mean, not no offense, I guess.
No, I mean we did most of our stuff off of mods anyway. So.
Who are you? Someone with a pronounced phonetic Cockney accent.
There are a lot of those in games these days, though. Pronounced Cockney accents.
Well, it's an easy thing to do, I suppose. It's the easy accent. You just say nothing instead of nothing. Alright, won't be bothering with that, but thank you.
I like the fact that when you finish the level, they slam you in a book.
Yeah. To show their appreciation. And this level is far from finished, for as we are establishing now, we can expand the level by using some pages. But I'm not going to bother, because I want to go to a different looking world. Hey, I'll do the reviewing, Yooka, mate. Threw me a while says if they were going to make a Banjo-Kazooie clone, why not just use the same characters? Well, because of legal things, for one. I mean, I'm guessing Nintendo are holding on to that copyright with an iron grip.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or Rare, I guess. You know what game hasn't aged well?
Which one?
Parappa the Rapper.
I don't doubt that.
I was playing a bit of the remastered version because I had never played it before, and I'd heard that some people seem to like it. But that, I don't know what the fuck that game wants from me. If I have to hear it crack, crack, crack the egg into the bowl one more time, I'm going to break my head on something.
I remember that game when it originally came out. It was on the, when you bought your original PlayStation 1, it was on the demo disc you got with it.
What, the whole game?
No, but a chunk of it.
Well, I can't imagine there must have been very much of it in the demo of it.
There were like 2 or 3 levels of it, and that was enough to make you sure you never wanted to play it again.
Alright, here's a mind bender for you.
Alright.
Light these torches in a certain order to get a page in.
How will we ever determine the order?
I hate these fucking aiming controls, I gotta say. Gotta click the stick in and then stand stock still and move the camera around like a bellend.
How in the world did you ever know how to light, what order to light these in?
Because there's letters on them that spell out pagey.
Oh, wow.
That's my top tip of the day. Stick that in one of your Escapist walkthroughs.
There you go. I'll let them know.
Right. Where's the next one? Oh yeah, I'm piling these up now. Jumbly Wobbly asks which one of you is vacuuming the carpet with a microwave oven. I'm sorry, I think
There's
that's...
a little background hum from
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think that's the laundry. This is not a large apartment that I'm in.
Sometimes you just have to wash clothes.
That's another top tip for the walkthrough.
What's that? Sometimes you have to wash clothes?
Yeah. Sometimes
Alright,
you
we'll
have
put
to
that
wash
in the
clothes.
list.
Otherwise, you will not make friends.
At least not very well. So, did you play Gears of War 4? I can't remember.
Yeah, we streamed it, remember?
That's what I thought.
I think
That's
we all
what
played it together, didn't we?
No, I didn't play it
Oh,
with
you
you because I
were.
haven't played it.
It was everyone else.
Yeah. I saw today they are going to set up ranked matches that let PC and Xbox One players play against each other.
Oh god. Well, I think we can preemptively declare the results of that contest.
Indeed, we can. And to tell you how lopsided they know it's going to be, they are giving the Xbox One players the option to check a box that lets them opt in or out of playing against PC people, but PC people don't get the option.
Oh, I see.
Because I don't think there's enough people playing on PC to keep the game viable, so they're trying
Microsoft
to...
seem to be really big on integrating PC and Expo.
As long as you use that
I have a
Windows
feeling
store.
they're just going to become gaming PC manufacturers at some point.
And you know, everything's going to come full circle.
Hey, you can now use Microsoft Office on your Xbox, and it comes with a keyboard and a mouse and Windows.
And we'll throw in a monitor for a nominal fee.
And a solid-state hard drive. I haven't been paying attention to this cutscene at all. I think it's establishing that the bad guys are bad.
I've heard that. I don't believe it, though.
Jumbly Wobbly says, seriously, what's the studio that owns Despicable Me? Because this is a straight rip-off. I think if there's one thing this game doesn't worry about, it's rip-offs with very slightly differently changed characters. Oh boy, we're at the fun part of the game. See, in another game, they'd put a boss fight here before we moved on to the next part of the hub world. But I guess the massive amounts of Kickstarter funding dried up for this specific bit. Because there were a fuckload of backers for this project. We were looking at the list of backers in the end credits and it took like half an hour to get past the A's.
Jeez.
So yeah, I need to answer 10 questions correctly. And the questions are based around meaningless trivia that I would have no reason to check on. Yeah, I just said that. Oh, I guess if they felt if they drew attention to it themselves, then it was excusable. Memorino Lowe's points out the duck sounds like Marge Simpson having a seizure. I don't know. Alright, guess I got that one wrong. Oh, come on, who the fuck noticed that? Oh, I just randomly picked an answer by accident and that turned out to be correct. If you answer a question quickly enough, you get to move 2 spaces, so if you get it right, you only have to answer 5 questions. With Venom says, this is better than a boss battle in my opinion. Boss battles are so blasé. I think you mean passe with Venom. Sounds like Marge Simpson with asthma. Didn't we just have a question about the Duke? I guess that's randomization for you. Pepper's after the toy that Gregory was sitting on. Just as a small update there.
Everybody seems to hang tight for the Pepper update, so...
Yeah. I guess we know what's bringing the viewers back. I don't know how many thingies I got in total. I've got 96. No, I don't. Oh no, I ran out of lives. I guess we have to start this all over again.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus is long gone from this place, Ron. I'm just going to say there's a post there from someone.
There was.
Yeah, and it's now been deleted. Well done. Yes, I suppose we'll have to try again, won't we?
Indeed.
Dr. Quack, is he? Because a quack is a kind of doctor.
John Bob Frederick says, "Hello, I'm new to these streams. A quick question: how much, if at all, do you read the chat?" Yahtzee.
A fair bit. I've got dual monitors up, and I've got the chat open in front of me on the left, and the game open in front of me on the right. So I'm looking at the chat when I'm not looking at the game, basically. With Venom points out, what is physically stopping Yooka from walking forward apart from being a good sport? Well, that's the good question, isn't it? Well, it's gold, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Vid and Kane. That's a lovely thing to say.
Worms T17 says, "Does Yahtzee consider this not as bad as Mighty Number 9?"
Oh,
Hey.
the questions came up and I accidentally pressed a button again.
Thanks, TBG Death Punch, for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
I think they're about even. I think these Kickstarter games always seem to be... Well, we didn't get the skeleton's name, but I happen to know it's Clara. These Kickstarter nostalgia games always seem to have something wrong with them, and there always seems to be drama behind them as well.
There very rarely seems to be one that gets released without some sort of nonsense.
I suppose it's just for the fans.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
That phone's not on my end, Vid and Kane. I think that's Ron's phone.
Nope, that was mine. I threw it away. It's in a hole now.
Yeah, it's at the side of the temple. I don't know what the temple's called. Rampo's Temple, I guess. The drama behind this, Irine News, was the whole JonTron business. Apparently the machine has decided that it doesn't like JonTron anymore. The machine of the society in which we live. Secret Negative, I think, speaks for all of us there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, bet you wish you're watching this live so you could have seen the bit of the chat I'm referring to there.
If you're watching on Facebook... Wait, are we streaming to Facebook?
No.
Oh, good. I was going to say, you won't have any idea what we're talking about, but you really don't because we're not streaming there.
Though I almost did because XSplit had a Facebook-related update today. But then I figured, I can't be asked. Let's just stick with what works. Although we might be dual streaming to YouTube soon, we've been talking about it.
Yeah. John Bob Frederick asks, a question I've been wondering for a long time. Does Yahtzee get money for any Audible purchases I make with Audible credits? I bought Mogworld and Jam with those credits, and both time wondered if it's actually supporting you.
You know what? I got no idea. So these enemies can't be hurt with our spin attack. You would not know that until you tried it. This is how we design a game. Oh, here's those eyeball enemies I was talking about earlier. They just stick to random objects and turn into baddies.
Somebody asked a minute ago how much money Yooka-Laylee got from Kickstarter. So just over 2 million British pounds, which is roughly 2.6 million US dollars.
Christ on a bike.
That's a lot of money.
There's me old mate Trouser Snake. He's going to give us a new move so we can get to the next world. Yeah, apparently John Tron said quite a lot of difficult to excuse things.
Sinister Gay says, Yahtzee, I have to thank you. Having English as my third language, you have no idea how much your videos have broadened my vocabulary. I'm not certain.
Can't help but think if you're still learning English, my videos would be sort of the advanced stage.
And I'm not sure that all of the language you learn from them is intended for polite company.
Yes. Don't call anyone a twat racket. That's a bad thing to call people.
Turns out.
RT3PO, this is Yooka-Laylee. Didn't you see? On the title of the stream. Well, now we've got the glide. Your bog standard sort of glide.
Congratulations on the bat learning how to fly again.
Yeah. I think this would have come up earlier. And here's the next book. It is the snowy level. What we're not going to bring up is what happens when you put cold-blooded life forms like lizards into cold, snowy environments.
Somebody mentioned Cecil in the chat just now. Cecil streams at 9 o'clock on Tuesday evenings, if you're looking for him. And hopefully, this week or next week, I'm trying to get Cecil to come on the Escapist podcast and talk video game movies.
Ooh. Yes, why don't you list all the good video game movies?
Okay, I'm done.
No. For research purposes, I once went to the Wikipedia page for video game movies and found a list of all the video game movies in order by Metacritic score. You know what the highest one was?
65.
It was around that, and it was for Angry Birds.
Yeah. I think maybe Assassin's Creed now has the highest Metacritic for any video game movie?
Does it? I guess
Yeah.
I haven't checked since that came out.
I don't think I'm not saying that's true, but I did read that somewhere, I think. I'm going to check.
So I seem to remember
Worms T7. Worms
T17. When I was playing
T17.
this game for the first time, you need to get a higher jump to get onto that ledge, but I seem to remember finding a way to sequence break it when I was playing. And I think what I did was, yes, I got hurt by that torch, and then I got smashed onto it. Now we are sequence breaking. We are the best. We are the hardcore gamer. Man.
Worms T17 asked, Yahtzee, was the main inspiration for We'll Save the Galaxy for Food a combination of Red Dwarf and Hitchhiker's Guide?
I guess you could say that, because I wanted to make a comedy sci-fi, because there seems to be very little comedy sci-fi in the world, and those are two of my favourites. But I'd say more specifically, it's a satire of pulp space hero stuff like Flash Gordon, and the sort of more modern ragtag group of space hero misfits genre that features such luminaries as Cowboy Bebop and Firefly.
Okay, I want to set the record straight. I was wrong.
Well, we know that, but
The
what
Assassin's
specifically
Creed
this
movie
time?
did not have a 65 on Metacritic. It has. I had that completely backwards. It has a 36,
Oh dear.
which means that the 95 Mortal Kombat movie remains the highest-ranking Metacritic video game movie with a 58.
Really? Where was Angry Birds then?
I'm gonna look now that you've asked me this question.
I seem to remember Mortal Kombat movie not being terrible, but the plot was really
The 95 one was just. It was enjoyable from a.
Well, it was just the plot was just Enter the Dragon, the Bruce Lee film,
Yeah.
but Mortal Kombat. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that I couldn't hurt that eye monster there for reasons that should have been obvious.
The Angry Birds movie sitting at 43 on Metacritic,
Huh. When I checked that, I was pretty sure.
with a 64 from users.
All right, I think it might have been user rating that Angry Birds was
No.
the highest of.
No, the 95 Mortal Kombat movie has an 88 from users. Wow.
Well, hush my mouth.
Well, that's a lot higher than I expected. Yeah, and that's a good point that John Lee Wobbly makes there. There are only like 10 or 11 reviews for Mortal Kombat, and there are a whole lot more than that for Angry Birds.
Yeah. In today's world.
Yeah, the 1995, the majority or 10 reviews was a lot for a 95 movie.
Well, it was a pretty wide release. It got sequels, like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
And my personal favorite thing is that we got Mortal Kombat, the movie, the game.
Wasn't that Street Fighter?
Oh, yes, it was Street Fighter. You're entirely
Yeah,
right.
they made a game version
They made a
of
movie
the movie
based on the
version
game.
of Street Fighter using Mortal Kombat style photo recorded animation. And it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yahtzee, guess you're not interested in playing Broken Sword 5, which was also a Kickstarter game.
Not particularly.
I've
I'm
never heard of
down
that
on the 2D adventure games these days.
one. Yeah.
Inventory puzzle stuff. Oh, bums. Although I have played quite a few of the Broken Sword games. I remember playing the first one. Can I reset this? No. Well, bollocks to you then. One of the weird specific things I remember about Broken Sword is that it's one of those games that had a mini game you could play while you were waiting for it to install. And I always wonder why more games don't do that, because there's a lot of games with long loading times, especially in these days on consoles.
Yeah.
Although, I remember bringing this up and someone told me that someone holds some kind of copyright or patent on mini games on
You know,
loading
I
screens.
think that's true. I remember hearing that somewhere.
Screwed it up again.
Stop it.
Sinister Gay asks, how is that lizard still able to move in this frozen world? I think I just made that joke, Sinister Gay. Get in line. Muska and Directo says you can do cute gestures with the D-pad. Try it. Huh, well. Guess I-
Diesel says it's Namco that owns that patent, and then AK Mines points out that patent expired 2 years ago.
Hey, we can make gestures with the D-pad. We can do a little dance. How heartwarming. We can be jolly cross about something unspecific. Boy, that redeems the whole game right there.
It would make it a lot more exciting if your character actually was freezing to death in this cold world and you had a limited amount of time to get through it.
Well, there are places where you can freeze to death, obviously.
Lothian says that the lizard is being kept warm by bat guano.
Ah, that might work.
seems to make as much sense as anything else.
Alright, new abilities, new world. Oh, but I need 40 currency items. Oh well, back to trying that one challenge.
Yahtzee Worms T17 asks which particular part of Banjo-Kazooie that you didn't like made it into this game.
Worms T17? Are they possibly related to the publisher of this game, Team 17, who also who also published Worms?
Indeed, it could have been.
Could they be some kind of representative trying to get some sly market research done?
It's possible.
Worms T17, please confirm. But I'm the wrong person to ask because I wasn't an N64 owner. I didn't really play much Banjo-Kazooie back in the day. I'm hearing a
Worms
giggling...
T17 says no, just a fan.
I'm hearing a giggly ghost. Where is the giggly ghost?
You know what?
I saw it.
That's a good point. Blissy-sama says maybe this isn't the ice world. Maybe it's the cocaine and meth world.
Ah. Maybe we're just on a giant wedding cake. All these guys I can't kill, so I'll just say how to do. Ooh! Here's this cart dude, whose name is Kartos. I guess that's a God of War joke. Yeah, Laylee has taken over for me there.
It's Rindis says, is the walking animation always this sloppy, or is it just because the ice? It's just because the ice, I think, but the walking animation is kind of sloppy.
Yeah, who knows?
A little bit of both.
Alright, time for another minigame related page.
Oh my
John
lord.
Bob
what did
Frederick
you
lets
say?
us know that Kartos sounds like he keeps saying yes in Finnish. Yo-ho, 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 yo-ho. No, I don't even know the controls, thanks. It's the minecart bit.
I haven't even seen it yet. I bet you have to jump back and forth between minecarts.
Nope. You just
No?
have to jump in a minecart and avoid
Okay.
stuff.
You should pretty much always play Age of Empires 2 again.
Ow.
For the people.
Ow. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Does this,
Colonel Rediff says that Kartos is an inside joke by the developers after one of them mistakenly referred to that God of War fella by the wrong name.
Oh, well, what a hilarious joke that comes across really well. I'm curious about something. Was the guy who did the music for this game the same guy who did the music as for Banjo-Kazooie? Because they seem... Because it sounds sort of related to that sort of thing.
I don't know.
Bebop Man says this song right here is obviously a David Wise track from Donkey Kong Country.
Yes, it was the same guy. Grant
Yeah.
Kirkhope,
Thought
British
it would've
video
been.
game composer.
And David Wise.
And talking Steve Burke, whoever that is.
Floatran says, Grand Kirkhope? Yeah, I think so. I remember him being upset about doing that rape. I'm not sure what Floatran's on about there. Jumbly Wobbly says, take note, Yahtzee, name a chapter in your next book, Booby Booby Bum Bum, as an inside joke. Hilarious. I don't really like inside jokes. I mean, I do them sometimes in zero punctuation, but I try not to let them last more than a year or two. I don't try to let them be the only source of the amusement. I've seen some franchises where the inside jokes just take over. And the trouble with that sort of thing is that all the fans who get the inside jokes are the ones who write in the comments, saying, "Oh, what a hilarious joke, I enjoyed hearing a thing I've heard before." And meanwhile, all the quiet majority audience are all quietly slipping away. And being alienated.
I think Max 734, 734, I believe that's correct. We will hit ZP 500 this year, won't we?
Well, I haven't marked any of the previous 100 milestones. I don't see myself doing it this time. Because I don't really keep track of the number. Suppose we could do something. Suppose I could open up a bottle of wine. Just for myself.
What about Pepper?
Sex bot in the chat, sex bot in the chat, everybody run! Right, this time for definites.
Yeah, you can't open a bottle of wine without sharing with Pepper.
Oh, of course. I'll have to get Pepper's favourite vintage, which I think is Another Dog's Bum 68.
See, that actually sounds pretty close.
Oh, that was quite easy, isn't it? Yeah, I celebrated my 100th, but that was the only one. Sort of. I think it was my old friend Gabriel who once said that the trouble with modern technology, it has made the sentence, "I'm being followed by sex bots," uninteresting. Hey, John Markley has started watching, apparently. He was on the voice chat a while back.
He vanished without a trace.
He does that.
Oh, wait!
Oh, he's back! Where have you been? We're near about finished, you big puff.
Sorry about that. Okay, sure.
I say that in the most respectful possible way, of course.
Okay. Well, as long as it's a respectful sort of. Alright. Speaking of which. Wait, no, not speaking of which. I think we made some sense.
See, here's an sorry to interrupt, but here's a great example of this game changing the rules. We've got this roll ability that's supposed to be the way we get up hills. Here's a hill. Oh, it doesn't work now. Sorry, continue.
There's nothing terribly interesting. Just Secret, I'm gonna take over the stream after Yahtzee. Anything particular people are interested in seeing? I think I make it do.
Yes. Chat. What would you like to see John Marty play? Do they have a choice, or do you just want ideas on the fly?
I could do. Let's see. Yakuza 0. I could do Polaris. I could do Nier Automata, I suppose. But I'm hesitant to do that without being here.
How about Leisure Suit Larry 3?
There you go, perfect.
I do not have that one. Is that the one that doesn't actually exist?
No, that's Leisure Suit Larry 4.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps that would have been a funnier reference. I hope you're paying attention to the order these rocks are lighting up in, because this is the puzzle. Bing, bong, bang, bum, bum, buh, Blur. Done. Oi, chuck it in me gash says, so what's the deal with the floating eyes and collecting paper and quills, and what does that have to do with the lizard and the bat? I don't really get the overall theme, if there is one. Well, the overall theme is, let's do Banjo-Kazooie again. That's about it, really. Alright, well now I'm going to put Yooka-Laylee in this box where they belong and say, thanks for watching the post-zero punctuation stream again.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Because it's 1 o'clock and I have to vamoose.
Okay, I think I'm gonna make it some Yakuza.
John Markley's going to play some Yakuza in a minute, so stick around for that. And come back every Wednesday at 11 AM Pacific for another post-zero punctuation stream with me.
What's next week's game, Yahtzee?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? It's Persona 5.
Oh.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with that, because Atlas are right Nazis about streaming that thing.
Oh well,
I guess
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So yes, follow me on Twitter at Yahtzee Croshaw. Follow the Escapist Twitch on Twitter at Escapist Twitch. You guys
That's
got
it.
things
And
to
you can find me on Twitter at FFRonW, and you can find lots of words you can read, including a new extra punctuation that went up yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has at escapistmagazine.com.
All right, and we'll see you guys later.